Well, graduation day is celebrated as a milestone for those who receive diplomas this time of year. But for one young man, his journey took him through several continents and cultures. KRON 4's Jeff Pierce met with that graduate, who's a refugee from Uganda, who faced years of challenges to reach this weekend's graduation.
It was all smiles on the day before graduation for the boys at Stuart Hall High School in San Francisco as they close this chapter in their education and consider the next. But for Richard Bakheit, reaching this goal and moving on to college was an accomplishment just short of miraculous.
Communist.
Dom Walterspiel is a volunteer with Refugee Transitions, a nonprofit that helps refugees as they deal with what is a strange new culture in America. He has been helping Richard as he improves his English, a language he hardly spoke just 3 years ago.
He kind of told me his story, and I was pretty amazed by it. He's been through some very hard things that most people here can't imagine going through.
But it was much more than language that Richard had to overcome to get him to graduation. Before coming to San Francisco at age 16, he spent 8 years in refugee camps in Uganda after fleeing the bloodshed of war in his native Sudan.
Leaving our village, running to Uganda because of war.
Hiding in the woods from rebels, losing cousins, not knowing what happened to them, growing up in a refugee camp.
One of my uncle was killed, and then that's when we say that there is a danger coming, and if we don't leave that place, they will finish us. From Africa, the children doesn't care about communities.
Richard has become adept at using a computer at the school's computer lab, producing a video presentation for his senior project. But at the refugee camps, there was little opportunity for school, and when there was, it was of a most primitive nature.
And the students, we use leaves, the bigger leaves. There are some leaves that you can write and it will appear just there. And then we use those leaves for writing.
But the refugee camps were dangerous places.
People are exposed to sicknesses, people are dying.
And so the family moved to the relative safety of Kampala. But school fees were out of reach for a family struggling just to survive.
I decided to go back to camp because the education over there, I decided to go back instead of staying in Kampala safe and without going to school.
Richard gained what education he could at the camps before his family managed to come as refugees to this country. But Richard struggled in a high school in a strange country.
It was clear that he was pretty much falling through the cracks, even though the teachers were very, very interested in helping him. The system just wasn't set up for it.
But Richard's tenacity to learn was not lost on those who got to know him. And with their help, he found his way to Stuart Hall High School.
Richard was definitely behind his class when he entered Stuart Hall, but he worked so incredibly hard that his teachers, every single one of them, no matter how many years they had been teaching, said they had never seen a student work harder.
And on Saturday night, family and friends celebrated this long and arduous chapter of Richard Bakheit's educational journey. Richard will start college classes next week and has been admitted to St. Mary's College for the 2010-2011 fall semester. In San Francisco, Jeff Pierce, KRON 4 News.